Hi, here I'm with Kelly from Golden One Credit Union, and you know I'm Kevin from Coldwell Banker, working with Stephanie Perot from Coldwell Banker. This is week 5 of our blog, first end of June. We have a 5-week month, which is awesome. I want to talk a little bit about the economics and the worries of impending bubble and maybe the market coming down in price. After listening to an economic forecast, by the economic gurus, we find that the values of homes are still looking to increase at a double-digit rate this year. So more than 10% on the increase of value from now to the end of the year. And it's a prediction, of course. But that just tells us that the inventory is going to stay low, even though it's increasing. Right. The inventory is increasing. It's not higher than pre-pandemic levels, but it's still increasing overall statewide and locally. So we're seeing more homes available and more homes in the luxury market coming on the market, although this week is very low in Saratoga. But we have plenty of homes coming on the market. More people are more comfortable with people coming through their houses to buy. And we're having an increasing market for the summertime, which usually is a decreasing inventory market, but people are staying home and traveling, so we're getting half and half. People are ready to go out and people are ready to stay home. So when we're priced correctly, we're going to see more multiple offers. When people price at the last top price, that's when we'll see the reductions, and then the multiple offers come and push that price right back up most of the time. So good price for a good product. And what's really holding our prices up is the high income from the 80% of the people that did not lose their jobs, and the buyers that we have are not the less income earners. So they've been working from home and they haven't missed a beat on their paychecks. And in some companies, they've also made a lot of money in stock and in salary.
Right.
So
I've seen that change as well with my pre-approved clients.
Yeah, and interest rates being still low is still driving the market.
Awesome right now, yes.
So great time to buy, great time to sell. So we wanted to talk a little bit about the earnest money and making offers. So most sellers are expecting the earnest money deposit to be within 1 business day. Our contracts are printed that we'll wire the money or deliver a deposit check of 3%. Well, 3% is the norm within 3 business days. But the sellers are expecting us to have it there in 1 business day. And Legalese says, maybe you don't have the full contract until you have the earnest money in. So that's why they really want it for a stronger contract. And then also the idea of putting the earnest money in is just in the name of itself. It says earnest money means the buyer is putting skin in the game. They're saying it takes one person to put the money into escrow, but it takes the buyer and the seller to remove that money back to the seller or buyer, or it goes towards your purchase price. So once you remove all contingencies, that money is definitely at risk. And really, it's always at risk once you put it in title because it takes 2 signatures, buyer and sellers, to get it out. Let me give it over to
This is
Golden
Kelly
One.
at Golden One.
Kelly at Golden One.
Thank you, Kevin. And
Thanks.
Speaking about those earnest money deposits, then we're also going to want those buyers to be prepared to have that money available. So if their money is in stock and not in cash, they have to be able to liquidate that ahead of time. And for me, be able to document it, correct?
Yeah, with these $2 and $3 million purchase prices, this could be close to $100,000 that they need to come up with in 1 day, and they'll say, well, it's going to take me a day or 2 to convert that money.
Yes.
So we have to have Kelly make sure the money's ready and they're pre-approved with underwriting pre-approval, so they can really come in with their strongest offer.
Right, and as we've been talking about, Kevin, that's why those pre-approvals are so important. So a pre-qualified just means I've spoken to someone on the phone, but a pre-approval means that I have their documentation. I know what assets they have. We've gone into underwriting and we have a conditional loan approval, which is a written loan approval by a human, not just the automated as we've spoken about before.
Yeah.
And so again, that can be done fairly quickly. It takes about an hour. I can give you a pre-approval letter. We send it into underwriting, and that takes about 24 to 48 hours. And then they're ready to shop, and then we talk about contingencies.
Yeah, or at least to get a good appraisal and get your title report, so the lender knows they have a good house to lend on and they know what percentage they can make their loan. And I know you want to talk a little bit about appraisals today too.
Yes, I was going to talk about appraisals. So we're seeing that appraisals are still taking quite a while to get in. So we want to, again, make sure that as soon as that borrower is in contract, that we're ordering that appraisal promptly and giving enough time. The appraisals are done by an AMC, an appraisal management company. It's not per bank or per broker. It is by an AMC company.
It's a third-party company, so the bank doesn't have any say in what the value comes out to.
Correct. And we want to give them enough time. And the problem is that a lot of appraisers have retired since COVID. They've just kind of gotten out of the business. So goes to that supply and demand kind of with houses, is we have all these people that need appraisals and we have a limited number of appraisers out there.
Yeah.
So we want to be patient. They're also regulating the fee that they're charging for those appraisals. And again,
Thank
that's
God.
not bank.
They
have to make their money and they're working very hard.
They were charging all sorts of different fees for the appraisals, and they were really taking advantage of some of the appraisers in the past. So that's good. They have a baseline.
Yes.
I had a question about interest rates this week too. Are they also, I heard the economist said that maybe we could expect a 30 to 40 basis points increase this summer?
You know, they're always predicting, and I don't never have my little crystal ball, so I don't know what rates are going to do. But we at the credit union at Golden One have seen that our fixed rate is incredible right now. So again, take advantage of that, as let your buyers know. Again, being pre-qualified, we can lock immediately upon that contract being accepted.
Wonderful.
And,
well, maybe next week we could talk about a little bit about loan locks and getting ready for the closing. You know,
Sure.
Getting into contract, locking the loan, and understanding the different time periods of loan locks and if there's a cost or no cost, depending on how long you want to lock your loan in. I know some banks have gone lock and shop, but I haven't heard of that recently.
Yeah, you don't see that a lot because, again, you don't know where you're going to go and how quickly you're going to be able to get into contract. So you certainly don't want to be tied to a locked rate, because a lock is a lock, right?
Oh my
The banks
goodness.
lock the loan and they know that that's going to be sent off on the secondary market in most cases.
Oh, I thought we got our float down every time.
Not always,
A float
Kevin.
down means that if the rate goes down after you lock, sometimes some banks will compete with themselves and lower the rate for you.
Absolutely. I'll always analyze that for my clients and go to bat for them and see the market's changing. We want to be able to make sure they're getting the best deal. That's why we're all here,
That's right.
Just to make the buyers happy, the sellers happy, and then it's a win-win for the entire team.
So we'll talk more about loan locks and rates next week.
Great.
And we got Kelly from Golden One Credit Union, Kevin and Stephanie from Coldwell Banker, and we're looking forward to seeing you after the 4th of July.
Have a safe holiday.
Thank
Have
you.
a good week.
And we'll throw the fireworks.